Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you, Downtown Ernie Brown, for being here. Great channel name. I love how it rhymes. And I hope that you are having a great day as well. So, this morning, we're going to talk about a movie called Dead Silence. Okay. And the reason why I have that specific poll up asking me if you guys saw the Saw movies, it's because it's written and directed by the same individuals that created Saw. So we're talking about Lee Wynell, excuse me, Lee Wynell and what's his name? One second, just gonna go get out his name. James Wan and Lee Wynell, okay, who wrote and directed the first Saw movie. I think they also did the two following ones, and I think for the rest they had some part to do with it, but not totally. But I know at the very least they were the ones that did Saw 1, 2, and 3. And they also came out afterwards with Dead Silence. And I do have, yes, I do have the DVD. Excuse me, my cough decided to wants to come back today to visit me. Excuse me. Um, I do have the unrated DVD just to age myself a little bit because I was big time into DVDs back in the day. So yeah, so we're here to talk about that movie. There will be some spoiler alerts. So I'm just gonna put the banner up for that, so that way you guys know what you're getting yourself into. So there we are. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about that. So there will be some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, maybe go ahead, take the hour and a half or however long this movie is to watch the movie for yourselves, form your own opinions, and then come back and watch this on the replay. But if you don't mind spoilers, you're more than welcome to stay and watch the review with me. So I won't make this very long because I do have things that I want to get done in my personal life today, which is why I moved this review from 10 a.m., which it was originally scheduled for, to 8 a.m. So I know that there's not going to be 1,001 people in the chat. That's absolutely fine. But I'm glad for anybody and everybody who decide to watch this on the replay. So we're gonna get right into it, okay? And I won't, I'll try not to give away too much of the movie, but we will be talking about it, so there will be some spoilers, some scene reveals, and things like that. So don't be surprised, okay, folks? But I'll try to keep it as mysterious as I possibly can. So, like I said, it was written by Lee Winnell and directed by James Wan, who were the same duo that brought us the movie Saw. It also was produced by Greg Hoffman and Mark Berg, sorry, and it starred Ryan Quanten, Amber Valletta, Donnie Wahlberg, and Bob Gunton. Okay, so some of these actors are very well known, some of them not so much. Okay, and the budget for this movie was 20 million, and it grossed 22.4 million USD. So it made a little over 2.4 million in profit. Obviously, it was going to be divided by all the people participating in an uh, appropriate manner. Now, the runtime officially was 89 minutes if you watched the theater version. But if you had, like myself, the uncut version, it was 92 minutes. So the uncut added 3 minutes to the movie. So we're going to get now into the summary of the movie and then my particular thoughts on it. So Jamie Ashen and his wife live in a particular town, and the opening scene you see them, go at their apartment talking. getting ready for dinner, etc. Um, and a mishap happens, and Jamie has to go and buy dinner. Now, in the meantime, they got a ventriloquist doll uh, to their home. Okay, they have no idea who gave it to them. Okay, it was delivered to the door anonymously, so they have no idea who gifted this doll, what's this doll about, etc. Okay, and it reminds them of a story because they grew up in a small town. It reminds them of a story that they heard about Mary Shaw. Remember that name, guys, it's important one. And they remember that with this story that Mary Shaw was a woman in their hometown that was accused of kidnapping and canceling a child for which she was brutally canceled herself by the people in the hometown. And it's believed that her dolls are cursed with her evil spirit, who now goes after the children and residents of the hometown. So, and she does it through the ventriloquist dolls that she made and used for the show that she was part of, because that's what she was about. She was a ventriloquist uh, individual. So, as Jamie Hansen is out getting dinner, the wife, Lisa, is playing with the doll. She puts it away because it creeps her out a little bit. And you'll see that the room, her apartment, goes da 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 da, dead silent. Okay, and at first she doesn't notice. Okay, that's how horror movies are gonna horror, right? But we notice time stops, everything goes quiet, and you see her turn around uh, briskly and scream. Her husband comes home, finds her canceled in a very brutal way. Now, of course, Donnie Wahlberg's character, who's a police officer in this movie, believes that the husband did it because usually that is, one of the most common uh, things is the husband canceling the wife. So he believes that it's the husband and starts to follow him around wherever he goes because he believes that, okay, I'm going to eventually find the proof necessary to be able to accuse the husband. So, one of the things, because both the husband and the wife are from a small hometown, Ravens Fair, the husband decides to bury her there in the hometown and visit the hometown at the same time as well. And his father lives there, and the father is estranged. So the father is Edward, who's now remarried to another woman, Ella. And of course, Jamie isn't very fond of the younger, quote unquote, trophy wife that his father, Edward, married. So, of course, he also looks into a little bit more the whole uh, story of Mary Shaw and finds out that, okay, getting a ventriloquist doll when you're part of this hometown is not a good sign and definitely not something that you want to keep around. And as he's traveling back to his hometown, he realizes that this doll is really creepy, and he's basically, with the stories, with the things that he's finding out about ventriloquist dolls, it's probably better to get rid of it. But of course, since Detective Lipton, Donnie Wahlberg's character, sees him with this doll, sees him go bury it, okay, because he does go bury the doll because of everything he finds out, because he finds it so creepy, the detective unburies it and brings it back to to Jamie, who of course is freaked out and is like, "Oh my God, what am I getting myself into here?" That's when, of course, he tries to explain to the detective that the doll is most likely cursed, and it goes back to the whole Mary Shaw story. course, the detective doesn't believe this at all and thinks it's just a made up story created by a crazy man who went and canceled his wife. Um, now, of course, throughout the movie, you're discovering more and more about Mary Shaw and about her ventriloquist dolls. You find out that when she was canceled, she was buried with her 101 dolls, including this one. Excuse me. And basically, part of the curse is if one of these dolls is unburied and given to people, the child of that family will be canceled as well. And in particular, Jamie's family, okay, a lot of the children have passed away, either as children or as adults. So that's part of the Mary Shaw curse that she's basically going after the descendants of the people who canceled her. So just give me a moment, folks. I'm just going to drink some water because I feel that my cough is coming and I don't want to be coughing during my life. So just give me a moment. In fact, I'll try to get some music going so that way at least. Thank you, StreamYard, for your background music feature. So I'm just going to get that going to the right volume first and foremost. There we are. All right, so I'm back. Thank you guys for your patience. And I'll keep the music on because it's nice to have that music in the background going. So we find out that in order for the curse not to happen, all of Mary Shaw's dolls have to be buried with her in order for the curse not to happen. If one or more of the dolls are not buried, then they go after the town people as revenge for their ancestors going after Mary Shaw. Now, why are people going after Mary Shaw? Like I said earlier, she was accused of kidnapping this particular child. And this particular child has importance, has significance because this child had mocked Mary Shaw's ability as a ventriloquist and made fun of her in a very public manner during one of her shows. She was not very happy about this and basically told the child that, look, something really shitty is going to happen to you for this. Uh, Mark my words. And soon enough, the kid was, kidnapped or disappeared, and was soon found deceased. And of course, Mary Shaw was accused of this because of what she had said. Now, whether she actually did it or not is under debate, is questionable, but she is suspected of doing the deed, right? Now, of course, let me get back to this here. Uh, Jamie is, um, finding all of this out about, um, you know, Mary Shaw, and possibly he believes that Mary Shaw, aka Billy the doll, because Billy is the ventriloquist doll that he received anonymously, is the one that actually, uh, you know, canceled his wife. But of course, when he tries to tell this to the detective, Detective Lipton doesn't believe him. Who would, right? Who would believe that a ventriloquist doll actually canceled your wife, right? Nobody is going to believe that kind of thing. But of course, Jamie is adamant about it and, goes and finds out, tries to ask questions to the residents. The residents don't want to talk about it because their population has been dwindling because a lot of their people have been cancelled in a very strange and unusual fashion, and they simply don't want to talk about this. And now that one of the ventriloquist dolls has been unearthed, the deaths, the cancellations are just very creepy and very, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, right? So of course, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, don't want to find out. And as you go through the movie, you see a couple of the residents pass away in very horrible ways. Because again, this is Mary Shaw going after the people who were the descendants of the people or may have actually did the deed towards her. So at the end of this movie, you see, of course, Jamie Hanshin go to the theater where Mary Shaw performed because it's still up and quote unquote working. Okay, because I don't want you guys to think that this Mary Shaw was like back in the 1700s. This is something like in the 1920s versus the 1990s. Okay, so there are one or two generations removed about it. Okay, it's not like it's been generations and generations. So, and of course, since the detective is still following him, he also comes into the theater. And of course, that's when you see all 101 dolls. And of course, Jamie reiterates to the detective when you see everything go silent, you also have to stay silent. Don't scream. If you scream, you are good as done, right? So, of course, at first the detective doesn't believe him, but then they see that the dolls are reanimated one by one. So, what do? They go after each doll and basically try to destroy. Now, of course, they do not succeed. This is one of the few movies where the bad guy wins. And you see that Jamie and the detective both become one of the dolls, and you also discover that Jamie's father, Edward, had already been transformed into one of the dolls, controlled by his young wife, Ella. Okay, so that is the big reveal at the end that all of this was a trap for the son to come back and to be one of the victims as well. So that's a basic summary. Now, like I said, I know that I didn't say everything about the movie, right? I didn't reveal all of it because I do want you guys to go out there and watch the movie for yourself and make your own decisions about the movie. Excuse me. Now, what are my personal thoughts about the movie? Well, I was expecting it to be a lot scarier than what it was because for me, I had seen the movie Saw and really liked it and really found it very horrific. So I would have a very high expectation of the movie. And to be honest, it was quite a bit of a disappointment. It really was not at all what I was expecting from the movie. It was really rather dull, in my opinion. And it could have done a lot better. It could have been a lot scarier than what it actually was. Now, don't get me wrong, it was gruesome. The deaths were not pleasant to look at, but for me, something being bloody or gruesome does not equate to horror, right? It's not something horrific, okay? And Donnie Wahlberg's portrayal in the movie of Detective Linton really took me out of it because I found it very hammy, very comedic. It was almost as if he was playing around and trying to be more comedic. I really didn't like how he was acting. I did find Jamie Hanson's actor pretty good overall. I don't remember seeing him in quite a few movies. So he was played by Ryan Quanten. Okay, I found him to be very interesting. Um, and enjoyable. But Yeah, I mean, Dunny Wahlberg just took me out of the movie, and I really, at the end of the day, I was very disappointed by the movie, and I was glad that I bought the DVD rather than spending the 30-40 bucks to watch the movie in theaters and then pay for popcorn and all that, right? I'd rather spend 5, 10, and 20 bucks on a DVD that I could rewatch several times instead of paying for a movie to see it once and being disappointed by it. But yeah, I really didn't enjoy the movie at all. I found it very bland, very boring, and um, although the movie had great potential, a ventriloquist doll taking revenge from the woman who's wrongfully accused and so forth. It's definitely a very good premise, but I think the execution, unfortunately, like in so many of these movies, was just way off. I really didn't like it, and it was a shame that it was, so poorly done, in my opinion, because with the movie Saw, and maybe because of the movie Saw, people had very high expectations of them, right? People had a very, we as the audience were expecting great things out of this movie, and it wasn't. Okay, now it came out in 2007, so it's quite a few years old at this point, and it did get a pretty bad review on Rotten Tomatoes. It got 21%, meaning most people really didn't like it at all, right? Um, so the audience scores 51%, while the tomato meter is 21%. So overall, it didn't get a very good review, unfortunately. Which, like I said, is unfortunate because people really wanted to see more, wanted, it had higher expectations of the movie. Let's see who else is here. It's still you downtown. Oh, it's too bad that you are going through a bad back. Yeah, no, I'm still recovering from a cold, but it's certainly not the same as a bad back. But I definitely understand, Ernie, how it feels like to not be at your 100, and you're trying to recover, and it's just your body does not want to cooperate with you on that. It's definitely not fun, but I can imagine having a bad back is a lot worse than having a cold. But I do hope that you feel better and get back. Oh, you're sore. Okay. Anyways, but I do hope that you feel better, because having a sore body, bad back, all of that is definitely not enjoying. Hello, hello, Professor Black Ops. I'm so glad that you're here and supported me. I know I saw some of your live, the tail end of it last time, but I'm glad that you're here and you're catching me on my tail end of my life, because this is about the ending of it. I do hope, Professor, that you catch it in the replay. But I'm, basically reviewing or did review the movie Dead Silence. Now, it's a movie that was created by, written and directed by the same people who did the Saw movies. I'm sure you've heard of the Saw movies, right? Definitely not revealing that to you. James Wan and Lee Wynell. Okay, and I was saying that I was very disappointed by the movie. I didn't really like it because I was expecting, because I saw the movie Saw and really enjoyed it. The sequels, not so much, I'll admit to it, but I definitely, was disappointed by Dead Silence. And thank you, Professor. But that's basically it for today, guys. Is a really quick review of the movie Dead Silence. I do have a few personal things to take care of, including going to a museum at 10 a.m., which is why I moved forward the review so that I would have time to get ready and go there. And hopefully later today, um, I will have good news about a potential job. So I am going in for a job interview through Zoom. And I hopefully also will be sharing my photos that I took at today's museum visit. So hopefully you guys will get a second live today from me. If not today, tomorrow. And tomorrow I do have, even though I didn't schedule it, I do have my live tomorrow morning at 9:30, where of course I'll be quietly reading Game of Thrones, and I do hopefully want to go live in the afternoon as well with a new series that I'm created, where I visit sort of a weird side of YouTube. As well, and if it's not going to be that, like I said, it's going to be about my museum visit today, and hopefully giving you guys some good news about my job interview. So, anyways, wish me luck, guys. Have a great day, everybody. Downtown Ernie Brown. I do hope that you feel a lot better. Get yourself a massage if you can. I know that that helps with bad backs and excuse me, bad backs and sore muscles. And thank you, Professor, for being here and spending even just a few minutes. And I do hope that you watch this live in the replay. It's going to be a short one, only half an hour, right? So hopefully you enjoyed the review. There will be some spoilers about the movie Dead Silence. So if you haven't seen the movie, maybe replay it later on after watching the movie. I think I saw that it is on Amazon Prime. So if you have it, or if you're willing to spend a few dollars, maybe rewatch it on YouTube. All right, so that's it for me tonight, folks. Tonight, this morning, I should say. And I hope that you guys have a great day, and that I hope you enjoy my live professor. And I hope to catch you on a live Professor Black Ops. Have a great day. Thank you for being here, Ernie Brown. I hope all of you guys have a great morning, a great day, a great weekend. Bye, guys. Have a good one.